Okie dokie, it is time for a poll episode. Guys, these are quickly becoming some of my favorite episodes to do because I get to learn a whole lot about my viewership and where your guys' heads are at. So I've made an episode explaining what a field watch is. If you want to check that out, click up here. And I've also made numerous episodes reviewing various field watches. I've also made tons of episodes reviewing G-Shocks. So what do these two have to do with each other? Well, perhaps nothing, and that's what we're going to try to figure out today. But what I want to hear from you is whether or not G-Shocks are like the ultimate field watch of today. Well, we did a channel poll about it, so we actually have your answer. The people have spoken. So let's get to the bottom of this once and for all. It is 4:07 p.m. Let's get down to business. Okie dokie, guys, at the time of filming, this week's poll has almost 6,000 votes, and the results are incredibly one-sided, okay? 71%, a whopping 71% of you say yes. All right, G-Shock is, let's see how we worded it. Yes, it's the field watch of today. That's what 71% of you said, and 29% at the time of filming say nope, field watches aren't digital. Now that's a truly impressive consensus, but digging into the comment section is probably going to be a bit more informative. That's my favorite part, so let's go ahead and take a look. So the top comment with 8 likes says, absolutely the ultimate tool watch. And then I replied, but I asked about field watches. Man, I am such a jerk sometimes. But below that, with 25 likes, Josh P. writes, seeing as field watches were developed by and for the military, and many servicemen these days favor G-Shock, I would say certainly, especially the solar-powered ones. Now, I see what he's saying. I mean, G-Shocks are ubiquitous within the militaries across the world. I mean, they're just incredibly tough watches. We're going to talk about that a little bit further. But there's someone on the other side, okay, that was definitely one of the 29% that say, no, G-Shocks are not field watches. Videro says, I feel the category of field watch defines a watch with its design language derivative of the Dirty Dozen design aesthetic. So I'd say no. Then again, is my DW5600 the best watch to bring camping? Absolutely yes. And 10 people liked that. So we're going to talk about camping in a moment. Believe me, all of this, it goes together. I'll explain. Someone writes, they're the ultimate beater watch, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I'd agree. I'm wearing my Neo Tokyo DW6900 right now. It's still perfect. Christian has a very interesting comment, something that kind of resonates with me. He says, from a practical standpoint, of course. From a watch collecting standpoint, nope. But watch collecting has very little to do with practicality, which is why you shouldn't start watch collecting. Hey, perfect segue to the Ultimate Watch Collector merch. Guys, don't start watch collecting, okay? You can find this only at thetimetellershop.com. We got hats, we got t-shirts, we're coming out with sweaters. Just don't start, all right? It's not practical. Christian said so. It's not logical. It's not helpful or really beneficial in any way. In fact, I'd say it's probably a net negative. Collecting watches, you lose money, you get frustrated. Why can't I ever stop? Please, Lord, make this end. Conundrum helps us solve this conundrum with his comment. He says, my vote is yes. Given a field watch is supposed to be a tool first and foremost, G-Shocks are used in the military today. That said, I think only some models qualify, given some are too busy to be ever used as mission critical tools. But more basic ones, sure. Ooh, using terms like mission critical. Fancy. We have another commenter that it also kind of resonates with me. He writes, I'd like to have a hand-wind field watch that's actually suitable for use in the field. Guys, there's something romantic about these old school hand-wind hammies, right? I mean, they won the wars, guys. I mean, if they were good enough to literally storm the beaches and fight through jungles, I think they're probably okay with me when I'm like sitting on my Coleman chair by a campfire. Grave Wolf writes, yeah, a field watch should be reliable, durable, and cheap to replace. All of those things sound like a G-Shock, honestly. Now, Flying Ace doesn't really answer the question. He just gives us his opinion, which is great. He says, honestly, I just can't bring myself to like G-Shocks. I've tried, but I've never seen a G-Shock that I liked. That doesn't really answer the poll's question, but hey, we appreciate you chiming in, bro. Margie, or Margie, I'm so sorry, I can't read, writes, I think of it as a tactical watch or tool watch, and when I think of a field watch, I think of something more classic. Interesting. So guys, again, thank you so much for commenting, and I definitely see where a lot of you guys stand on both sides. I get it, but what is my take? Well, personally, you know, I think that if you define field watch as a watch that derived from battlefields, then I guess any commonly worn watch by the military could be considered a field watch. And today, in the modern era, Timex Ironmans, Suntos, Garmin Tactical Instincts, and yes, G-Shocks are some of the most prevalent wristwatches worn by militaries, again, across the globe. Now, if you, like myself, choose a field watch whenever you're in the civilian definition of the field, then it could be any watch catered to an outdoorsy activity, whether it's camping, fishing, hunting. You know, I think G-Shocks could be the go-to watch for those types of things as well. But as a watch guy, as an horologist, this is where it becomes kind of difficult. Here's where the conflict is, the conflict of conscience, if you will. On one side, I see that this is kind of the ultimate field watch, right? Like, you just can't beat it. It does the things I need it to do when I'm out in the field. It does the things that our soldiers need to do when they're out in their battlefields. But as a watch person that also knows that there has always been a category of watch known as field watch, and all those field watches have a very similar design characteristic. They all have a very similar aesthetic, you know, thin case, so it doesn't get hung up on straps or gear or equipment. Typically sub 40 millimeters, again, keeping with that low profile design. Typically time only. They're not typically very complicated wristwatches. They usually have black dials. They're usually very legible. Sometimes they have a 24-hour track, and they're probably within some, you know, military history thrown in there. I mean, that's just what I think of when I think field watch, but that's just me being a stubborn wristwatch collecting curmudgeon, I guess. So in conclusion, are G-Shocks truly the ultimate field watch of today? Applicably, absolutely, and the poll showed that, but I still won't refer to them as such. That's right, I'm just a stubborn, naughty boy. All right, guys, well, if you want to leave a further comment to really, you know, bring your point home. If you disagreed with the poll, if you thought the poll was wrong, leave that comment in the comment section. Let us know why it was just flawed from the start. If you agree with the poll and you want to elaborate further, then again, leave that comment. Comments really, truly do help my episodes out in this ever-changing YouTube algorithm, so I do appreciate you interacting with the channel that way, and I read every single comment, so I'd love to hear from you guys. I want to thank you for subscribing. I want to thank you for clicking that bell icon so you get notified when we upload, again, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, with a live Q&A every Saturday morning around 11 a.m. Pacific. Guys, check out my personal website, theTimeTellerShop.com. Check out my other channel, T3 Time to Drive, for all your automotive entertainment needs. And I will see you on the next one. All right, guys, stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. Always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it. Big old dab.